Welcome to third year BSc 6th semester mathematics students. This is KVR Narasimha Rao, lecturer in mathematics, Sri Venkateswara College of Arts and Science, Malapuram, East Godavari district, affiliated to Adikavi Nana University, Rajahmundry. Today I will explain lesson number 8 of unit 3 named Interpolation 1 of your 6th semester elective mathematics paper numerical analysis. That is, I have already completed 7 lessons on this unit. In the previous lesson, I have explained about the problems based on advancing difference formula. What is advancing difference formula? F of A plus NH is equal to F of A plus NC1 into delta F of A plus NC2 into delta square F of A plus etc. plus NCN into delta power N F of A. Or Y of A plus NH is equal to YA plus NC1 into delta YA plus NC2 into delta square YA plus etc. plus NCN into delta power N Y of A. Using this formula, we have calculated so many functional values directly by using the formula instead of extending the table calculations in the 6th lesson. In the 6th lesson, I have explained in determining the functional values by extending the table. Extension of table is a very mechanical and time consuming process, whereas this advancing difference formula is a time saving method of determining functional values. Another advantage of this method is this method gives functional form, that is equation which is suitable for the given data, or the relationship between the two variables exist for the given data can also be determined using this advancing difference formula. అంటే ఏంటి? ఇంతకుముందు లెసన్ నెంబర్ 7లో మనం అడ్వాన్సింగ్ డిఫరెన్స్ ఫార్ములా ఉపయోగించి ఇచ్చిన డేటాని దాటి, అంటే ఇచ్చిన డేటాని ముందుకు వెళ్ళి ఏదైనా ఆర్గ్యుమెంట్ కానీ ఆర్గ్యుమెంట్స్కి కానీ కరస్పాండింగ్గా ఫంక్షనల్ వాల్యూని కట్టడం చేసాం. వేరే 6th లెసన్లో ఏం చేసామంటే ఇదే అడ్వాన్సింగ్మెంట్ ఇన్ క్యాలిక్యులేషన్, అంటే ఇచ్చిన డేటాను దాటి ముందుకెళ్ళి ఏదైనా ఆర్గ్యుమెంట్కి ఫంక్షనల్ వాల్యూస్ని క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేయడం కూడా చేసాము. కానీ దాంట్లో ఏంటంటే టేబుల్ని ఎక్స్టెండ్ చేయాలి. టేబుల్ని ఎక్స్టెండ్ చేయడం అంటే మనకి సపోజ్ 1 2 3 4 5 ఇస్తే నెక్స్ట్ 6th కట్టడం, తర్వాత 7th కట్టడం, తర్వాత 8th కట్టడం, అలా వరుసగా ఎదరికి వెళ్ళాలి. దీనివల్ల ఏమవుతుందంటే టైం కన్జ్యూమింగ్ తీసుకుంటుంది. ఇది మెకానికల్, ఓన్లీ ఇంకా ముందుకు వెళ్ళటమే, మెకానికల్గా చేయటమే తప్ప దీనిలో డైరెక్ట్గా ఒక 5 వరకు వాల్యూస్ ఇచ్చి 20కి ఏంటంటే ఆ 20 అంటే మధ్యలో ఉన్నట్టు 14 వాల్యూస్కి కడితే కానీ 20వ వాల్యూకి రాదు. చాలా అక్కర్లేకుండా ఇచ్చినటువంటి డేటాకి ఏ ఈక్వేషన్ సూట్ అవుతుందో కూడా ఫార్మ్ చెప్తున్నాం. దాన్ని బట్టి ఏ ఎక్స్ కావాలన్నా మనం క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేస్తున్నాం. దట్ ఈస్ ద మెయిన్ అడ్వాంటేజ్ ఆఫ్ అడ్వాన్సింగ్ డిఫరెన్స్ ఫార్ములా. సో దాన్ని ఉపయోగించి చాలా ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ని మనం లెసన్ నెంబర్ 7లో చూసాం. టుడే ఐ విల్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ అనదర్ ఆపరేటర్. In the previous class, we have determined the functional values for the argument, succeeding arguments. If we need to compute functional values for the preceding of the given data cannot be determined. If it can be determined by using the same formula, it may not coincide with the original value. అంటే ఏంటి, ఇదే అడ్వాన్స్డ్ డిఫరెన్స్ ఫార్ములా ఉపయోగించి ఇచ్చిన డేటాకి ముందు వాల్యూలు అంటే ఏదో 1 నుంచి స్టార్ట్ చేసి ఇచ్చారు, 0కి ఎంత లేదా -1కి ఎంత, అలాంటి క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేసినప్పుడు ఈ ఫార్ములా ద్వారా ఇచ్చిన క్యాలిక్యులేషన్స్ చాలా సందర్భాల్లో వాటికి దగ్గరగా రావు కరెక్ట్ వాల్యూస్కి. సో ఇన్ దోస్ కేసెస్ ఆల్సో we need to compute the values very correctly by using a new operator, what it is called backward difference operator. Today we will discuss about two operators. What operator we have already learned? Finite difference operator, that is delta. Delta fx is equal to f of x plus h minus fx. డెల్టా ఎఫ్ఎక్స్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు అంటే ఏ ఫంక్షన్కి డెల్టా ఆపరేట్ చేస్తే ఆ ఫంక్షన్ యొక్క తర్వాత ఆర్గ్యుమెంట్ వాల్యూ లోంచి ఏ ఫంక్షన్కి అయితే డెల్టా అడిగామో ఆ ఫంక్షన్ వాల్యూ తీసేస్తే వస్తుంది. డెల్టా ఎఫ్ఎక్స్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు ఎఫ్ ఆఫ్ ఎక్స్ ప్లస్ హెచ్ మైనస్ ఎఫ్ఎక్స్. నౌ టుడే ఐ విల్ ఇంట్రడ్యూస్ two more operators. One is del or nabla, another is shift operator E, capital E. Two operators. What is the operator which have already learned? Delta. What are the operators we will learn today? Del and E. Now what is my backward difference operator? If x be argument having interval of difference h, then the difference between the functional value and just its preceding value is called backward difference operator of the function fx. That is del fx denoted by del or nabla. That is del fx is equal to fx minus f of x minus h. Del fx is equal to fx minus f of x minus h. అంటే డెల్టా గడిది ఏమైంది, డెల్టా ఎఫ్ఎక్స్కి డెల్టా కావాలంటే దాని తర్వాత వాల్యూ ఎఫ్ ఆఫ్ ఎక్స్ ప్లస్ హెచ్ మైనస్ ఎఫ్ఎక్స్. కానీ ఇక్కడ డెల్ ఎఫ్ఎక్స్ అంటే ఎఫ్ఎక్స్ మైనస్ ఎఫ్ ఆఫ్ ఎక్స్ మైనస్ వెనకాల వాల్యూ తీసేయాలి, దాని ముందు వాల్యూ తీసేస్తే వచ్చేదాన్ని del fx అంటారు. del fx is equal to fx minus f of x minus h. Then del is called backward difference operator and del fx is called backward difference of the function fx. If y is equal to fx be a functional relation between two variables and x be the argument having interval of difference h, then del fx is equal to fx minus f of x minus h is called backward difference operator of the function fx denoted by del fx. So this del can be successively operated on the continuous functions. Whether for the application of forward difference operator or backward difference operator, the function must be continuous. That is the first point. If the function is not continuous, there is no question of delta and del. Now, so if the del can also be applied successively, same as the successive application of delta. Del of del fx is equal to del square fx is equal to del fx minus del fx minus h. What is del fx? Fx minus f of x minus h. What is del fx minus h? Fx minus h minus f of x minus 2h. Like that. Similarly, del power n fx is equal to del of del power n minus 1 fx is equal to del power n minus 1 of del fx is equal to del power n minus 1 of fx minus del power n minus of fx minus h. Now, the procedure for constructing backward difference table. We have already learned the procedure for constructing forward difference operator. Today, a new operator has been introduced. Hence, we can also construct the backward difference table. Let y is equal to fx be a continuous function of x, comma, x be its argument, fx be its entries, and x assuming values a plus h, a plus 2h, a plus 3h, and their corresponding entries are f of a plus h, f of a plus 2h, f of a plus 3h. Then construction of the backward difference table is in the following table. Write the arguments in the first column, a plus h, a plus 2h, a plus 3h, and write the corresponding entries in the second column, that is f of a plus h, f of a plus 3h, like that. Write the third column using the backward difference operator, del fx is equal to fx minus f of x minus h. So, del f of a plus h is the first value. Del f of a plus h is equal to f of a plus h minus f of a. And whereas in the forward differential, what is the first value? Delta f of a. Whereas in the backward differential, what is the first value in the first backward difference? Del f of a plus h is equal to f of a plus h minus f of a. Second value is del f of a plus 2h. F of a plus 2h minus f of a plus h. What is the next value? Del f of a plus 3h. This is f of a plus 3h minus f of a plus h. Whereas in the forward difference table, last finite difference value cannot be determined. Whereas in this first for backward difference value cannot be determined. Del f of a is not there. Del f of a plus h is the first value. Using this column, construct the second column, that is next column, that is del square fx. Del square f of a plus 2h is equal to first value. Del f of a plus 2h minus del f of a plus h. Next value is del square f of a plus 3h is equal to del f of a plus 3h minus del f of a plus. How many values in the fourth column? 2 values. Next one is del cube fx. What is the value? Del cube f of a plus 3h is equal to del f of a plus 3h minus del f of a plus 2h. This is the procedure of constructing backward difference table. Once I am explaining in Telugu medium. ఇక్కడ బ్యాక్వర్డ్ డిఫరెన్స్ ఆపరేటర్ అంటే అర్థం ఏంటంటే ఏ ఫంక్షనల్ వాల్యూకి బ్యాక్వర్డ్ డిఫరెన్స్ ఆపరేటర్ అప్లై చేస్తే ఆ ఫంక్షనల్ వాల్యూ నుంచి దాని ముందు ఫంక్షనల్ వాల్యూని తీసేయాలి. ఇంతకుముందు ఏంటి? ఎఫ్ ఆఫ్ ఎక్స్ ప్లస్ హెచ్ మైనస్ ఎఫ్ఎక్స్. ఇక్కడ అలా కాదు, ఎఫ్ఎక్స్ మైనస్ ఎఫ్ ఆఫ్ ఎక్స్ మైనస్ హెచ్ చేస్తే వచ్చేదాన్నే బ్యాక్వర్డ్ డిఫరెన్స్ ఆపరేటర్ ది ఫంక్షన్ అంటారు. బ్యాక్వర్డ్ డిఫరెన్స్ కూడా సక్సెసివ్గా ఈ కంటిన్యూస్ ఫంక్షన్ అయితే అప్లై చేయొచ్చు, సేమ్ యాజ్ ఫార్వర్డ్ డిఫరెన్స్ లాగానే. అంటే డెల్టా మీద డెల్టా అప్లై చేస్తే డెల్టా స్క్వేరు, దాని మీద అప్లై చేస్తే డెల్టా క్యూబ్ ఎక్సెట్రా డెల్టా పవర్ n. అలాగే ఇక్కడ డెల్ మీద డెల్ అప్లై చేస్తే డెల్ స్క్వేర్ ఎఫ్ఎక్స్ వస్తుంది. డెల్ స్క్వేర్ ఎఫ్ఎక్స్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు డెల్ ఎఫ్ఎక్స్ మైనస్ డెల్ ఎఫ్ఎక్స్ మైనస్ హెచ్. మళ్ళీ డెల్ ఎఫ్ఎక్స్ అంటే ఎఫ్ఎక్స్ మైనస్ ఎఫ్ఎక్స్ మైనస్ హెచ్. డెల్ ఎఫ్ఎక్స్ మైనస్ హెచ్ అంటే ఎఫ్ఎక్స్ మైనస్ హెచ్ మైనస్ ఎఫ్ ఆఫ్ ఎక్స్ మైనస్ 2h, లైక్ దట్. సో నెక్స్ట్ ఏంటంటే బ్యాక్వర్డ్ డిఫరెన్స్ ఆపరేటర్ని n టైమ్స్ అప్లై చేస్తే అంటే డెల్ పవర్ n ఎఫ్ఎక్స్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు డెల్ పవర్ n మైనస్ 1 ఆఫ్ డెల్ ఎఫ్ఎక్స్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు డెల్ పవర్ n మైనస్ 1 ఆఫ్ వాట్ ఈజ్ డెల్ ఎఫ్ఎక్స్ fx minus f of x minus h is equal to del power n minus 1 of fx minus h fx minus del power n minus 1 of fx minus h. This is the rule of successive application of del on continuous function. ఇప్పుడు నెక్స్ట్ ఏంటంటే అసలు బ్యాక్వర్డ్ డిఫరెన్స్ టేబుల్ని ఎలా కన్స్ట్రక్ట్ చేస్తాం. y ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు ఎఫ్ఎక్స్ అనేటువంటిది ఎక్స్ ఆర్గ్యుమెంట్గా ఉండి ఇంటర్వల్ ఆఫ్ డిఫరెన్స్కి ఇచ్చున్నటువంటి ఒక కంటిన్యూస్ ఫంక్షన్ అయినప్పుడు ఎక్స్ అనేటువంటిది ఏ ప్లస్ హెచ్, ఏ ప్లస్ 2h, ఏ ప్లస్ 3h ఎక్సెట్రా. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇది ఏ ప్లస్ 3h వరకు తీసుకుని టేబుల్ కవర్ చేయాలి కాబట్టి తీసుకున్నప్పుడు వాటి కరస్పాండింగ్ ఎంట్రీస్ ఏమవుతాయంటే ఎఫ్ ఆఫ్ ఏ ప్లస్ 2h, ఎఫ్ ఆఫ్ ఏ ప్లస్ 3h అవుతాయి. దెన్ ఫస్ట్ కాలంలో ఆర్గ్యుమెంట్స్ని, సెకండ్ కాలంలో ఎంట్రీస్ని వాటి కరస్పాండింగ్గా రాసి, థర్డ్ కాలం డెల్ ఎఫ్ఎక్స్లో ఫస్ట్ది ఏంటంటే డెల్ ఆఫ్ ఎఫ్ ఆఫ్ ఏ ప్లస్ హెచ్, నెక్స్ట్ తర్వాత డెల్ ఆఫ్ ఎఫ్ ఆఫ్ ఏ ప్లస్ 2h, డెల్ ఆఫ్ ఎఫ్ ఆఫ్ ఏ ప్లస్ 3h. ఫార్వర్డ్ డిఫరెన్స్ టేబుల్లో లాస్ట్ దానికి డెల్టా ఉండదు, బ్యాక్వర్డ్ డిఫరెన్స్ టేబుల్లో ఫస్ట్ దానికి డెల్టా ఉండదు. దట్ ఈస్ ద మెయిన్ డిఫరెన్స్ బిట్వీన్ ద టేబుల్స్. వాల్యూస్ కూడా డిఫరెంట్. నెక్స్ట్ ఏంటంటే డెల్ స్క్వేర్ ఎఫెక్ట్స్, డెల్ ఎఫెక్ట్స్లో వచ్చినటువంటి వాల్యూస్ని ఉపయోగించుకుని డెల్ స్క్వేర్ ఎఫెక్ట్స్ క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేస్తాం. సేమ్ రూల్. సో లాస్ట్ని డెల్ క్యూబ్ ఎఫెక్ట్స్ని దాని తర్వాత కాలం నుంచి క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేస్తాం. దిస్ ఈజ్ ద ప్రొసీజర్ ఆఫ్ కన్స్ట్రక్టింగ్ బ్యాక్వర్డ్ డిఫరెన్స్. నౌ వన్ మోర్ ఆపరేటర్ ఈజ్ టు బి ఇంట్రడ్యూస్డ్ in addition to the delta and del, that is called shift operator or displacement operator. What is meant by shift operator? If y is equal to fx be a continuous function of x and x having interval of difference fx, then efx is equal to f of x plus h. EFX, capital E of fx. What is delta fx? Fx minus fx plus h minus fx. What is del fx? Fx minus f of x minus h. What is EFX? F of x plus h. That means the succeeding entry is called shift operator of the preceding entry. So now displacement operator shift operator once again. If y is equal to fx be a continuous function of x having interval of difference h, then f of x plus h is called the shift operator of the function fx denoted by efx. That is efx is equal to fx plus h. What is efx plus h? fx కావాలంటే fx plus h. fx plus h కావాలంటే f of x plus 2h. So E fx plus h is equal to fx plus h. E fx plus 2h is equal to fx plus 3h. E fx plus n minus 1 into h is equal to fx plus nh. This is the procedure of writing displacement operator of the function. So f of x plus nh can be obtained by the shift operator n times. That's why e power n of fx is equal to e power n of fx is equal to fx plus nh. So now e power n fx is equal to f of x plus nh. That means the shift operator can be applied on a function. First time you will give fx plus 1h. If you are again applying shift operator, second time will be fx plus 2h. Etc. If we have to apply shift operator n times, f of x plus nh. Now, what are the properties of displacement operator and backward difference operator? First we will discuss about backward difference operator. First property, show that del and A are commutative. Del and A are commutative. No. First property, del of a constant. Del and A are commutative. The second property, first property is del of a constant is 0. Del of a constant is 0. That is del k is equal to 0. Now, if y is equal to fx, be a constant function. We know that constant function is again continuous. That is fx is equal to k. That means f of x minus h is also k. Then by definition of del of fx, del fx is equal to fx minus f of x minus h. That is k minus k is equal to 0. Therefore, del of a constant is 0. That is the first property. Second property, del and A are commutative. That means del A fx is equal to A del fx. Del A fx is equal to A del fx. That is the property of commutative. Now let y is equal to fx be a continuous function of x. Then by definition of del fx is equal to fx minus f of x minus h. Let A be a constant, then we know that A fx is equal to capital Fx is again a continuous function. Now del capital Fx is equal to f of x capital Fx minus capital f of x minus h. What is capital Fx? A small fx. What is capital Fx minus h? A small f of x minus h. So substituting these values we get del A fx is equal to A fx minus A fx minus h. Taking A as common, it is A into fx minus f of x minus h is equal to A del fx. Therefore, del A fx is equal to A del fx. Next, third property. The operator del is distributive. The operator del is distributive with respect to addition as well as subtraction. That is, if f comma g are two continuous functions of same argument x with the same interval of difference h, then del fx plus gx, fx plus or minus gx is equal to del fx plus or minus del gx. This is the distributive property. Now, proof. If y is equal to fx and z is equal to gx be two continuous functions of same argument x and x having interval of difference h is same for both functions, then by definition of del fx is equal to fx minus f of x minus h. Del gx is equal to gx minus g of x minus h. Now, we know that if fx comma gx are two continuous functions, then fx plus or minus gx is equal to capital Fx, say, is again a continuous function of x. Now, del capital Fx is equal to capital Fx minus capital Fx minus h. What is capital Fx? Small fx plus or minus gx. So substituting these values, what is fx minus h? Capital Fx minus h. Small fx plus or minus small gx. By substituting, capital f of x minus h is equal to small fx minus h plus or minus small gx minus h. Then substituting the values of capital Fx and small fx, capital Fx and capital Fx minus h in terms of small f and g, we get del fx plus or minus gx is equal to fx minus fx minus h plus or minus gx minus h. Therefore, del fx plus or minus gx is equal to del fx plus or minus del gx. Therefore, del f plus g is equal to del f plus del g. So, del is distributive with respect to addition as well as subtraction. Next one is, next property. If a and b are two constants, f and g are two continuous functions of same argument x with interval of difference h, then del af plus or minus bg is equal to af plus or a del f plus or minus b del g. Now, if fx is a continuous function of x, gx is another continuous function of x with same argument x, having same interval of difference h in both functions, then by definition of del fx is equal to fx minus f of x minus h. Del gx is equal to gx minus g of x minus h. Let a comma b are two constants, then we know that a fx plus or minus b gx is again a continuous function of x, say capital Fx. That what is capital Fx? A small fx plus or minus b small gx. Now, del af plus or minus bg is equal to del af plus or minus del bg is equal to a del f plus or minus b del g. This is the another property. Next one is del fx into gx is equal to gx del fx plus fx minus h del gx. Del fx plus gx, fx plus vx is already completed. Now multiplication of two functions, then applying the del, that is the property. Del fx into gx is equal to del fx into gx plus fx minus h into del gx. Now we go to proof. If fx and gx are two continuous functions of x, then we know that fx into gx is equal to capital Fx is again a continuous function of x. Now by definition of del fx is equal to fx minus f of x minus h. Del gx is equal to gx minus g of x minus h. Now, del capital Fx is equal to capital Fx minus capital Fx minus h. What is capital Fx? Fx into gx. Then, del small fx, what is capital f of x minus h? Small fx minus h into gx minus h. Then substituting the values of capital Fx and capital Gx in terms of small f and small g, we get del fx into gx is equal to fx into gx minus fx minus h into gx minus h. Once again, del fx into gx is equal to fx into gx minus fx minus h gx minus h. Then adding and subtracting fx minus h into gx minus h, we get fx into gx minus fx minus h gx minus h plus fx minus h gx minus h minus, adding and subtracting fx minus h into gx, fx minus h into gx is adding and subtracting. Will give fx into gx minus fx minus h gx plus fx minus h gx minus fx minus h into gx minus h. Then taking common terms for the first two and last two, will give gx into fx minus h plus fx minus h into gx minus h. Therefore, del fx into gx is equal to gx into del fx minus fx into del fx minus h into gx. This is the another property. Now we go to quotient property for the del operator. That is del fx by gx is equal to gx del fx minus fx del gx by gx minus h. Del fx by gx is equal to gx into del fx plus fx minus h into del gx, fx into del gx by gx into gx minus h. That is the, if fx and gx are two continuous functions of x, then we know that fx by gx is equal to capital Fx is again a continuous function of x. By definition of del fx is equal to fx minus h. Del gx is equal to gx minus h. Now LHS is equal to del small fx by gx is equal to del capital Fx. What is del capital Fx? Capital Fx minus capital Fx minus h. What is capital Fx? Small fx by gx. What is capital F of x minus h? Fx minus h by gx minus h. Substitute in the values of capital Fx and capital Fx minus h in place of fx and gx. In terms of small f and g, we get small fx by gx minus small fx minus h by gx minus h. Taking LCM. What is LCM? Gx into gx minus h. Then the numerator is fx into gx minus h minus gx into fx minus h. Therefore, del fx by gx is equal to fx gx minus h minus gx fx minus h by gx into gx minus h. Adding and subtracting fx into gx for the numerator, we get del fx by gx is equal to fx into gx minus h minus fx into gx plus fx into gx minus gx into fx minus h by gx into gx minus h. Hence taking common terms in the numerator from the first two terms and the last two terms, we get fx into gx minus h minus gx plus gx into fx minus h by gx into gx minus h. So on rearrangement, we get del fx by gx is equal to gx del fx minus fx del gx by gx into gx minus h. These are the properties of del operator, backward differential. Now we go to prove the properties of shift operator. Shift of a constant is the constant itself. Delta of a constant is 0, del of a constant is 0. But shift of a constant is the constant itself. That is the, if y is equal to fx be a continuous function of x with argument x and x having interval of difference h, then by applying shift operator, e of x is equal to f of x plus h. E of x is equal to f of x plus h. Suppose if fx is a constant function, that is fx is equal to k, that implies f of x plus h is equal to k, f of x plus 2h is equal to k, etc. f of x plus nh is equal to k. Now e of x is equal to f of x plus h is equal to f of x plus h. Therefore, e of k is equal to k. Therefore, shift operator of a constant function is constant, the constant itself. Next property. Show that e and a are commutative. E and a are commutative. That ea of x is equal to ae of x. Capital E, a of x is equal to a capital E of x. Now, y is equal to fx be a continuous function of x. having argument x with interval of difference h, then E of x is equal to fx plus h. Let A be a constant. Let A be a constant. Then we know that A of x is again a continuous function. Capital E of A of x is equal to A f x plus h is equal to A into E of x. Therefore, E of A of x is equal to A into E of x. Therefore, delta EA is equal to AE. Now, second property. Third property. Shift operator is distributive. That is, E of fx plus or minus gx is equal to E of x plus or minus EGX. Now, let fx comma gx are two continuous functions of x. Then we know that small fx plus or minus small gx is equal to capital Fx is again a continuous function of x. Say capital Fx. Now, E capital Fx is equal to capital F of x plus h. What is capital F of x plus h? Small fx plus h plus or minus small gx plus h. Therefore, E of fx plus gx is equal to fx plus or minus gx is equal to E fx plus or minus E gx. Therefore, E f plus or minus g is equal to E f plus or minus E g. Now we go to next thing. E of AF plus or minus BG is equal to AEF plus or minus BEG. Because f and g are two continuous functions. AF and BG are also continuous functions. AF plus or minus BG is also continuous function. Then E of AFX plus or minus BGX is equal to E of AFX plus or minus E of BGX is equal to AEFX plus or minus BGX. This is another property. Next one. This property is somewhat important for the examination point of view. That is, show that the operator, shift operator E obeys law of indices. Show that the shift operator E obeys the law of indices. ORR. If m comma n are integers, then show that capital E power m of capital E power n fx is equal to capital E power m plus n of fx. This is the law of indices property. A power m into A power n is equal to A power m plus n. That is like that. That is law of indices in mathematics. Proof. Let y is equal to fx be a continuous function of x with argument x having interval of difference h. Then by definition of shift operator, E fx is equal to fx plus h, and E power n fx is equal to E power n minus 1 of E fx is equal to E power n minus 1 of fx plus h is equal to E power n minus 2 of E power fx plus h is equal to E power n minus 2 of fx plus 2h. In general, E power n fx is equal to fx plus nh. Now applying E power m of E power n fx is equal to E power m of fx plus nh is equal to fx plus nh plus mh is equal to fx plus m plus n into h is equal to E power m plus n fx. Therefore, E power m of E power n fx is equal to E power m plus n fx. So this is the law of indices property. These are the properties for shift operator as well as delta. Now we go to construction of backward difference table for the following problem. Construct backward difference table for the following data for y is equal to log x. X values 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Y values 1.000, 1.3010, 1.4771, 1.6021, 1.6990. And also find del cube log 40 and del power 4 log 50. These are the two values are needed to be calculated using the backward difference table. Y is equal to fx be a continuous function of x having argument x with interval of difference h. Then by definition of del fx, fx minus h. That is del fx plus h is equal to fx plus h minus fx. And del power n fx is equal to del power n minus 1 of del fx. So therefore, now preparing the backward difference table, having how many entries are there? 5 entries are there. So 6 columns are required. Same as in forward difference table. The number of arguments plus 1 columns are there in the forward difference table. Similarly, the number of entries, the number of arguments plus 1, having number of arguments plus 1 columns are there in the backward difference table also. Write the arguments in the first column, that is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Next one is write the entries corresponding to the arguments in the second column against each. That is 1.00, 1.3010, 1.4771, 1.6021, 1.6990. Third column delta y. Fourth column del square y. First column del y. Second column del square y. Third column del y. Fourth column del square y. Fifth column del cube y. Sixth column del power 4y. So what is del above? Which value is not to be determined in the backward difference operator first value. So you can calculate the value from second del for second value, second argument onwards. So del f of 20, that is del y20 is equal to y20 minus y10. That is 1.3010 minus 1.00, 0.3010. Next, del y30 is equal to y30 minus y20. 1.4771 minus 1.3010. Del y40 is equal to y40 minus y30. 1.6021 minus 1.4771. Del y50 is equal to y50 minus y40. Next column. Write the del square y in the fourth column, and these values are calculated using the previous column, just the previous column, that del y columns. So what is del square y20? First of all, del y10 are available. From the del square onwards, we cannot calculate for the 10 value. So del square y30 is equal to first value del square y30. Del square y30 is equal to del y30 minus del y20. Next value is del square y40. Del y40 minus del y30. Next, del square y50 is equal to del y50 minus del y40. Using this column, construct another column, that is del cube y. Del cube y40 is equal to del square y40 minus del square y30. Next one is del cube y50 is equal to del square y50 minus del square y40. Using this column, construct another column, that is del power 4y. Del power 50, y50 is equal to del cube y50 minus del cube y40. So, it is observed that from the above table, one minute. Del cube y40 is equal to 0.0738. Del power 4 log 50 because of y is log. Thus del power 4 log 50 is equal to minus 0.0508. Hence, my dear students, I have completed lesson number 8. Lesson number 8, Unit 3, Interpolation 1 of your elective mathematics paper, numerical analysis. So, we will solve the problems using backward difference table in the coming lesson, that is lesson number 9 of the same unit. Thank you.